Hey Aquarius, happy Lunar New Year. I'm using the wrong cards, hang on a second. Happy Lunar New Year, and also happy birthday to many of you. It'll be in your period, I guess. It's Aquarius season. I am using the Queen of the Moon deck because we're in a lunar cycle, and I'm also using the Moonology cards as well. I felt it was fitting. So this is your reading from the 1st of February till the 9th. So we're doing that full cycle so I can get into a weekly mood, and it starts on a Saturday, so there we are, 9 days. Let's see what's in store for you. So I'll start reading the first card while I shuffle these ones. We are in beauty. Now this is in a position of where you are at, the energy that you're in at the moment. And it is reversed, so it does want you to pay attention to this. It does want you to listen. So that's a good sort of authority to be in the first step. And beauty represents seeing the beauty that we are and the beauty of the world, looking things through a lens of beauty instead of a lens of hate or negativity. I do think that shift for you could be monumental during this time, but I actually feel like you're in the energy where you are actually doing that, because I get this kind of thing of even when things are going harder, you're acknowledging the vulnerability in that, which is really beautiful, and sort of seeing yourself, I guess, from a different perspective, which I think is essential right now. I do need to move forward, I think, because of the mic. I just went to the toilet and had something to eat before I started recording again, so bear with me while I readjust to my seat. I'll show you the imagery. It is beautiful. Now I do think that this card represents seeing the beautiful synchronicities of life and the way that things happen. It's like going for a walk while you're in a mood, and then all of a sudden like loads of butterflies are crossing your path. The weather is beautiful, it's not too hot, and the way that the wind blows on the leaves, you start seeing the beautiful things that is nature. And then we have to realize sometimes that we are that beautiful thing in nature. Sometimes we are feeling lonely and upset and scared or angry, and these are beautiful things for that we witness and experience in our life, and when we start seeing the beauty of how that makes us authentic and beautiful, and special and unique, because the way that it is created in our own formula creates a dynamic that is suited for only us, and I think that's beautiful. Our next card is Focus. Now with this, she kind of is in the waters. Water in tarot and other cards, oracles and things, they can represent emotions. I feel like in this it is a strength. The emotions are your strength, and it's kind of like, even though you may be treading water in these emotions, because at the moment it is a heightened emotion time, we are in some intense energy and some intense feelings going all over in the collective, and I feel like this is actually helping you to focus. I feel like you are actually finding your strength within these feelings, and it being a drive for you. So that's a really great, passionate thing to be happening right now for you as an individual. And I do think these cards both paired together, they both have butterflies in them, right? New beginnings, new ways of seeing things, but also inspiration, love, and togetherness. I know it doesn't represent that, but this is the words that are funneling through me for you. Togetherness. I do think that you're like alone keeps coming up. I feel like potentially this is something that is aiding your growth at the time, at the moment. So whether you're in a period of time where you are doing something alone or sheltering yourself, being more introverted, I feel like this is actually beneficial to you and it's helping you moving forward. We have pleasure. Treasure. Interesting. We have pleasure. So yeah, finding the enjoyments. I do think that it is a really good thing for you to be aiming towards doing things which bring you passion and enjoyment. And I think on all levels, spiritually, lifestyle, it's bringing all of that together is essential for you. And I think that is where your focus is being. And so if you are like thinking, where do I want to go, where do I want to be, and you're unsure, go towards the enjoyment, towards the pleasures in life, things that bring you fulfillment. That is going to help you to decipher where it is you want to be right now. But again, we do not have to rush these things, and I do get this sense of flowing and ease from you, of you just working through things. And I'm actually loving the energy. I know it sounds like sometimes, being emotional, working through things, it seems daunting and stressy. It doesn't feel that way. This actually feels very vulnerable but authentic and real and constructive and productive for you. Aiming towards your goals. I do think it's a very abundant time for you. I do think, as in financially, you prospering this year is going to be a good thing. This is for this week, and I feel like you're getting in alignment with where you need to be. So it's like ideas may be trickling in and bringing you kind of on a sense of adventure. So head towards what is going to bring you fulfillment and excitement. I feel like that will help you lead towards where you're going. Don't be expecting anything. We have got the unexpected in reverse. I actually feel like potentially relationship wise, this to me feels as though you may be in a space where you're not expecting much from your relationships, or even maybe that you're single and you're thinking, maybe I should be single for a while. I think that wherever that is going, it's unexpected for you, but I do feel like there are matches, and so if you are single and not looking or anything, I think that you can expect that there may be connections up ahead from you, and again, your focus being on what brings you happiness will bring you towards that goal. I feel for some of you, your aspiration is to find unity, find union, not reunion. Maybe some of you are reunited with the old lovers, who knows. That is not sometimes something I advise, but in some cases that is exactly where we need to be, right? But for you guys, I just feel as in maybe there is some of you that are looking for love, or thinking that you want to be in that space now, and it's saying, it's there for you. So I don't want you to have expectations. I kind of want you to freely flow in your energy and allow it to organically happen. When we force relationships, when we force, sometimes we can talk people into giving us a chance. I do think that there's a time and a place for that, but naturally I feel like the best relationships that we have are the ones that we fall into because it was meant for us. We attracted it from where we are in that space of time. It's exactly what we needed, and they're exactly who needed us as well. And again, you come together in unison. And I feel like that is here. But also for those of you not relationship wise, I feel like that is a strong message here in terms of love. I feel like I've got a cat hair on my nose. Sorry guys, I'm getting really distracted by little things today for you. But that could be saying something. Now, I'm getting definitely reunion. Could be ideas coming together. Like, I want your expectations to not be expectations. I know it's hard, like, what? But I want you to not have expectations and to just go forward and live in the moment. Stop expecting, I don't want you to live with an expectation of an end result. That's what I'm trying to say. Go with the flow. The next card is creation, so that makes sense. I want us to understand that the collective energy that we're in at the moment is whatever we're all going to be feeling. There's a lot of fear-based things out at the moment, and a lot of things happening which can bring up the really strong negative feelings of people around us. I don't feel like you're influenced in it as strongly as a lot of other signs are. I feel like, again, it could be making you feel emotional and a little bit lost and a bit unsure. But as a whole, it is helpful for you for your growth. So trusting in the process with this creation card. But also I want you to actually see how you are creating your world and how your part in the creation. Now I want us to realize that on an individual level, we are all what makes up the collective. And so we are meant to be our unique selves and have our own footprint on this earth in a way that is our puzzle piece. And not fit and squish into how someone else wants us to be. And I get this is a reflective time in terms of you creating anything. So again, focusing on pleasures and joys, but in a way that is you creating beauty for you in your life and in this place. Be kind to yourself. We have purity in reverse, so it does want you to listen to this. This card can represent, again, not looking forward and being present in the moment, but it's also a card of authenticity, of vulnerability, knowing that we are all human, that we are all unique and different, and that, again, you shine and dance to to the rhythm of life in your own way, and that is beautiful. But you need to be present with that and to be kind to yourself. Sometimes we take ourselves away from our own experiences by worrying about the noise, self-doubts, anxieties, fears. All of that builds up that we are preventing from seeing what actually is and what's there and what we are actually experiencing. Sometimes we try and experience what everyone else is experiencing while we're not experiencing it. Like watching the media and social media and getting fueled up by things. I mean, I am somebody who will naturally do that. I'll go into the comment sections and start being all high and mighty about things because it's just like, how can you be so dumb? But that's just being in someone else's business, and I will own up to it that sometimes I probably should just stay out of the comments. And this is exactly that. It's making sure that you are staying present in your life and experiencing your life in the way that you are meant to experience it. And just realizing the beauty in you and the way you feel things. And I do think that your strength is in how you are feeling things during this time, and maybe that can help channel you. But definitely we have two cards here which both have the covering of the eyes. So either you are not seeing something or you are not meant to see something during this time. I do feel like that latter is standing more strong. I feel like you're not meant to be looking ahead and thinking about what will be. You're meant to be with what is. I'm creating something in the now. If you look at this, so this next card is balance. I hadn't actually read it yet, but it's just what it was giving me because her eyes are covered. But it's dreamily. It's in the dreams, in the clouds. She's not in danger, but she's got something close to her chest, and it's like her world, right? This is what she's creating. This is the dreams and the hopes. It is towards the sacral chakra, and it's where we are trusting our gut, trusting what is right for us, and nurturing and bringing that into life, and that being where our focus is, and not needing to see other people's worlds, not needing to see what everyone else is doing, because again, it's uniquely to you. I would say for some of you, trust your dreams, but this card is the card of balance. So what does this mean? It means that we need to bring our life into balance. Is there something that's been in excess, something that's been lacking? I feel like just having a think on these things could help bring it into balance, but for the most part, I feel like your focus being on, again, what you are creating in this world, and only you know what is in excess and what is not. And I feel like that's the point here, is that you need to do a little bit of the self-assessing in the way that you're thinking. Overthinking is bad. Just keeps coming back to me as I look back towards the purity card. Okay. New moon beginnings. This is good. It means you're working towards new beginnings. New beginnings are coming. The good stuff is coming. It means that you're coming to an end of a chapter and new beginnings are coming. The fact that this is the last card of this deck, to me, is saying that, you know, you're preparing yourself for new beginnings. If you have Capricorn on your chart, it was a similar layout with the last card being this card too. So potentially go check that out and see the energy that you're working with, if that's also in one of your top three. Let's have a look what else we've got. So yeah, definitely leaving harder times behind you. So even if you're feeling all the feels, I do feel as though this is just a period of release because you're heading towards the greener pastures. And I'm definitely getting this sense of strong feelings and emotions, because I get that it feeling like a wall that you have to go through, but it's not a wall, it's a door. But because it's such a solid foundation that you're working with, I feel as though for you that it is like walking through a solid wall, right? But it's not. It's a door, it's a frame, but you're just trying to work your way through the walls to try and find the door, right? So see this as a journey of you leading and unburdening yourselves of the restrictions of the walls and heading to the doorway. As we come to the end of this week. Definitely sooner than later. I was just going to try and clock into it to whether it felt like later in the year, but I do feel that this is quickly coming around for you. You are good enough. This is amplifying. So these last four cards are basically just a roundup of the energy of the reading. That's what I've been finding is happening with this. And you are enough. So it's saying you are good enough, which means, again, let go of all of the stress and the fears and the burdens that may be just distracting you from what is essentially what you're experiencing. Sometimes we will distract ourselves with the ifs, the whats, the buts, the maybes, the things that we make up. And it's just not true. You are enough, and self-reflection is sometimes a really, really good thing, as long as we are realizing what is us and what is the influence of the outside. Don't let your past hold you back. I mean, come on. So again, living in the moment, I do want to remind you that the past is in the past. It is meant to be there as memories and things that we learn in order to grow, right? It's not to live there. So anything that happened in your past shouldn't be preventing you from anything in the future. It is not meant to be like... So as humans, we naturally will think of the negative. So when we go through something and it has a negative connotation, like, you know, it ended, a relationship just ending can prevent us from having future relationships, because all of a sudden, if we allow ourselves to live in that moment, all we're living in is in an ending, not beginnings. And we have to realize that the formula that we are is different from that moment, and also the people are different formulas to the people that we had relationships with, different spaces, different mindsets. If you are reconnecting with a past love, because that's just sort of popped up with this reconnecting, remember that the past love is in a different space than you are. Naturally, normally I would say I don't agree with going backwards, because for myself I don't agree with that. I think once it's done, because the energy that you turn into, what I have found, I try and be in an energy where I'm friends. It doesn't work like that, because the other person has big feelings that ends up causing a chaos that makes it just be so toxic that it damages any way of repairing, if that makes sense. But I think not everybody is like that, and I have to realize that kind of lesson. And I think in here it's realizing again that your whole formula is different. You're older, wiser, you've probably both been through different relationships since, or been through different spaces, so maybe this is a chance to go back. I'm not telling you to go back there. My actual normal me advice would be just don't look back. But I'm just saying that if that is something that comes into your circle and this is something you want, the energy is definitely there to say you're in a different space now. Show the world the real you. Exactly. Authentic. And again, this is pouring out water. This is being vulnerable, being emotional, and allowing yourself to just be you. Remember, not everyone has to be loud and proud on, like, showing who they are to the world on social media. It's really hard to believe these days, but really you don't have to. You can, and you should, if that's who you are. But if you're not, and you're more subtle, like, you are just as beautiful, loud and proud as you are subtle and to yourself, right? Everybody is different. Being unique is what makes us special. Individually, like, everybody is special in our own unique way. So love that. Be you. The last one, a personal issue reaches its resolution, and that is exactly it. Something coming to an end because you're in this new beginnings. I think I said to Capricorn, I'm vibing the same sort of energy here with you guys, of sometimes like you're like a series of a book. This book is closing, but it's not the end. It ends are not always final. There's the next book, which is a whole new chapter, whole new adventure, and this is what I feel is happening in the world at the moment. We're about to enter the next series in the book series. I'm reading a lot lately, so I'm very influenced by that, but I hope that makes sense to you. Anyway, thank you for being here, Aquarius, and please subscribe to my channel to watch your weeklies and monthlies, and I hope to share this year with you. Thank you, guys.